Lonely boy. Lonely boy. Lonely boy. Lonely
Hey everyone, good afternoon, good morning, or good night for the people that are watching this stream. I believe this is the first technical stream for the day. Still not very sure. Let me check. Yes, it's the first one. So in the morning or like 2 hours ago, approx, I had the today in Global Hack Week with Carrie. And now I'm here with you for this set of technical streams that will highlight the creation of an AI chatbot using Streamlit. This is a two-part stream, and this is the first part, and we will be basically covering basics, kind of like introduction and page setup. And then for the second part, which will be in like, I think in like 4 hours approx, we will be diving into more complex topics. What else? Yes, don't forget to checking into the stream, because when you check in, you are getting the points for the week, and this is your way to earn swag. So by checking in, you are being eligible for these points, and you should be receiving, the emails from Global Hack Week that highlight the activities that you have been going to. Hi everyone. Good morning. Oh, nice. Yes, at least for me, it's good afternoon because it's 1 p.m. I'm in CST time zone. But I believe for you, perhaps it's like midnight, or like 1 hour, or like 2 hours of delay. But yes, I mean, I hope you all had fun yesterday in the stream that I gave about, what was it about? It was about embeddings and vector embeddings with Streamlit. It's 1 a.m. Oh my god, that's so. Then you are in IST, right? IST time zone, if I'm not mistaken. I still haven't received my January swag. Yes, I mean, it takes a while, specifically because of shipping. I mean, even for me, it takes a while for packages to arrive, and that's just because it has to go through customs and everything. But if you received your shipment tracking number, then that means it's on the way, and you should expect it in like 1 or 2 3 months from now. Pakistan. Oh, okay, then it's similar to IST, then, because it's like the other end of the world. It's one for me, then that's the same time zone as me. Yes, that's CST as well. Okay, well, 30 minutes different. Oh, okay. Then it's okay. That's actually interesting. Like 30 minutes of difference between IST and Pakistan time. Wow, now I learned something new today. Okay. So, before I get started with our slides and activities that I have prepared for you today, I will give you a brief intro of what we'll be doing during this technical stream. First, we will understand some basic concepts before we dive into the coding part with Python. We have to understand what the RAG is. After that, we also have to understand the different libraries that we will be using and the different models that we will be using today. After that, we will set up our Pinecone database on the web, and then after that, we will be setting up our Streamlit dashboard, and we will deploy it as fast as possible. So I will prioritize for us to deploy our application with a simple front end. And then after that, we will be building our script for the RAG chatbot. And this stream will be dedicated for both beginner and experienced hackers. So for beginner hackers, we will be building a simple AI chatbot that makes an API call to ChatGPT. And for more experienced hackers, we will be building a RAG system that uses LangChain and other embedding models to create more personalized responses alongside with GPT or any other LLM of your choice. And we will be adding both chatbots into our platform so we can test the difference in between them. Probably today we will only, well, at least on this stream, we will only be able to finish the rack code, and then for the next stream we will test the rack code out, and we will also use a new library that has been released, I mean, not very recently, but at least it's very new, that's called Moondream. So yes, let me just check the slides because I'm not seeing them on my Google account. create your first. Let's see. We have some comments. It's 7:00 p.m. for me. What is that time zone? It's 10 p.m. for me. Oh, okay. That makes more sense. All right. Let me just search for the slides. Just give me a moment. I need to sign into a different account. I have like three different Google accounts, and I'm looking for the one that I use for MLH specifically. Here we go. Found it. Okay. Let's see. Oh, it's actually pretty short, so I think we can cover it quite easy. Hi. 9 p.m. for me. Okay, then I think it's kind of either night for someone or like midnight for most people watching the stream. And I mean, for the ones that are watching this at midnight, I really appreciate your dedication. But yes, let us start with the presentation. But first, I want to highlight that the project that we will be building today, you can upload your GitHub repository into this challenge that is called Create Your Own AI Chatbot. Yesterday, we created this one, and this one is still not finished. I'm pending on a part 2 on there. So that's it. And for this stream, we will be creating this. So the code repository that you create or the GitHub repository that we will be building, you can upload it here on the post. Over here. Yes. So you can upload the projects in here, and you can see like all of the challenges that are out there. Okay, well, let's continue with this. Let me present this super quick. Just a heads up, we are not going to be diving very deeply on the concepts that I present today as we did on yesterday's stream, because today it's more of like a workshop style. So I really want us to finish a lot of the Python code that I prepared for you today. So first of all, introduction. I think I talked for around 15 minutes and didn't even introduce myself. But yes, I'm Jocelyn. I'm a coach at Major League Hacking. I'm based in Mexico. Some of my hobbies or fun facts is that I like salsa dancing and Minecraft Bee plushies that I have a collection in my room. You can ask me about mechanical keyboards, robotics, or neurotech. And I'm also a GitHub campus expert. So you can also ask me about the program or, general questions about GitHub, and I will be very happy to answer them. So for today's stream, I think I already mentioned something in the beginning before I shared my screen with you. But we will be building and we will be understanding what the RAG is. And then we will be learning how to integrate these concepts with a database that is called Pinecone and with Python framework that is called LangChain. Then we will design our platform on Streamlit and we will set up our Streamlit environment ready to deploy. So we have a lot of things prepared today. So let's get started. And after this session, you will have built a RAG AI chatbot using Python. I mean, at least the Python code. Not very sure if we will finish on today's stream like the complete project, but we have the part 2 to finish up in case we extend ourselves even more. So first of all, super quick, what is an LLM? I think most of the hackers out there already have heard about what an LLM is. It is a large language model. You access it through text input, then it passes through a language model, and then it produces text output. So before diving into this, let me check the chat. I once created a mental health conversational support chatbot using Google Dialogue Flow CX. Oh, that's very interesting. I'm pretty sure you will use your skills today. A large launch machine. I am actually kind of hungry right now. Um it's like how do I call this? It's like lunchtime in here, like 1 p.m. So I had like a quick snack and then hopped into the stream, and hopefully I will be eating a more proper lunch after this and before my next stream. But yes, I think but at this point we all know what LLMs are, or at least we have used LLMs. So now this is the kind of like the formal definition of RAG, or retrieval augmented generation. You can see the RAG, and the formal definition. I actually don't. I'm not a huge fan of this, but it says that it is an innovative approach. I don't know why it is innovative in the field of natural language processing, or NLP. So this is everything that has to do with words and like semantic sentences that combines the strengths of the retrieval based and generation based models to enhance the quality of generated text. It's kind of weird. I mean, I don't even understand that definition. I just found it, and it sounded fancy, but we will break this down into smaller and more understandable meanings, so you can all understand what RAG is and what does it has to do with LLMs. So now, RAG in simple terms, it is basically giving your chatbot a brain to search knowledge from. So if we, as humans, imagine, like for example, Jocelyn, I have my own experiences, and I have been through, different activities, different workshops, university, high school, and so on, and I have my own knowledge, right? And then when you ask me something, so perhaps you can be, oh, Jocelyn, how do you became an MLH coach? So only I, or probably the person that I have shared that knowledge with, will be able to answer that question. And that's just like I have my own RAG. If you want to see it in that way, I have my own knowledge, and I can access my own knowledge anytime that someone asks me something about, my past life or my past experiences. So another example that you can see it from is RAG. It's basically a library of information to look on. So this is a nice diagram. In here we have our user, which could be me or you or any other hacker. Then the user makes a query, and then there is a retriever. So there is something that fetches the information from a data source and returns the relevant text. So let's imagine the user asks, like, for example, what was the first hackathon that was organized by Majorly Hacking? And then the retriever goes onto the library and searches for books that are related to MLH and hackathons, and when MLH was created and what was the first hackathon that they organized, and then returns that relevant text into the user. But before giving it back to my final user, it has to go through a kind of like output, um, kind of like formatting output before it goes out. And this goes through an LLM, and the LLM, what it does is that it mixes both the text that it retrieved from my data source and a query to generate now a formal response. So instead of just giving exactly what's on the data source, the LLM will craft it in a more kind of like human-like response. So that's why in here it says query plus text. That's mixing both information sources. And then after that, you have your response, and the user is happy because now the user know what was the first hackathon that MLH organized. So yes, I like this diagram a lot. I think it's very explanatory, at least what RAG is, because we have R for retriever, and then we have A for augmented, and then we have G for generate, which is when the LLM generates the response to the user. So if you want to take something from this slide, please take that RAG is basically is giving your chatbot a knowledge to search from. So it's kind of like an integrated library for your own LLM. And here it's another cool diagram. It's kind of like the same format. It has a user, a prompt, then retrieves the information or called context. We will be seeing this on our code a lot. This is the context that I'm passing on to my LLM, and then I'm giving back the prompt plus the context, and the LLM creates that in a nice response to return to the user. So in here we have a nice breakdown of the three letters. R for retrieval, which is basically look up the external source to retrieve the relevant information. And then the A for augmented, add the retrieved information to the user prompt, which is basically this prompt plus context, because I'm passing on my own prompt plus the context that I already searched from in my library, if you would like to say see it that way. And then finally, you have the G for generate. And this is just to use an LLM to generate a response to the user prompt with the context. So it just mixing these two answers into a nice, neat response for the user using an LLM. And this is Llama. This is a nice Llama icon. So how does RAG even connect with my chatbot or my AI chatbot? So we want to connect your chatbot to a knowledge base, if you would like to see it that way. And this knowledge base is nothing more than RAG. And this RAG can access information in different formats. It can be either a link to a web page, markdown, text, code, .txt file, or a PDF file. I mean, it can be anything that you would like it to be. And then the chatbot now will answer in context with the PDF we uploaded or the knowledge base that we gave to our chatbot. So we have two parts in here. We have my simple chatbot and LLM that it can be, for example, OpenAI or ChatGPT. And now ChatGPT will have an access to my knowledge base. And in my knowledge base, I will have, like, for example, some PDFs about how my company is run, or some PDFs about who I am, or I don't know, any PDF or any type of information or data that you would like your LLM to feed from and give answers to the user in relation to that information that you just uploaded. We have some questions in here. Oh, we just have the llama emoji. I wonder why Meta named their AI llama. I think there's a reason behind this. I remember someone asked the same in a past stream, and someone from the community responded. I don't remember the answer, but I'm pretty sure it has a really interesting reason. If someone will be so nice to look it up and paste it on the chat, I will be very happy to read it again. And I'm pretty sure someone already told me this on another stream. But yes, there's definitely a reason behind why they named it llama or llama index. Okay, so yes, now that we know how does this connects to a chatbot and RAG, we will now see the libraries that we will need for our project. I will explain them first before we use them. So we have LangChain, which is this one over here with the parrot and the chains. And this is basically the brain of our chatbot building process, because it has different LLM tools that we will be using throughout our application. Then we have OpenAI. We are very familiar with OpenAI, and this is basically the LLM that we will be using. But feel free to use another LLM if you would like. Then we have Pinecone, which is basically a vector database to store knowledge. And I will explain this further on. I prepared another slide in case you are not very familiar with the concept of vector database and embeddings, which we saw yesterday, very deep, very in depth. So If you would like to learn more about vector databases and embeddings, I encourage you to see the stream that I gave yesterday on building your first recommendation system, part 1. It is on the YouTube, if you want to search it, as well. So now we have the answer for the llama thing. Meta named their AI llama large language model Meta AI as a play on words. Oh, then that was not what someone asked the last time. That's interesting. And that's also a very clever, because now they have like their own logo type, which is like a llama, which is very cute. Yes, that's also impressive for me. Okay, I was actually going to mention something before this. Let me just remember what it was. Oh yes, I was going to ask the chat if now someone or any hacker could explain in their own words what RAG is. After what we learned today, or perhaps from your own experiences, if you would like to explain to me what RAG is, I will be highlighting the responses from the chat. I will give like 2 minutes for people to type in what RAG is. Before we move on. I think RAG, that's something we have heard. At least most developers probably not used it, but at least heard of it. Also, like when you use the OpenAI chatbot that you can upload like PDFs and then create like your own assistants. That's all RAG. Okay, we have our first answer. Let's see. RAG is basically the web that a student uses to cheat in an exam. Oh, I like that example. RAG is a librarian who knows it all and tells us in a story, like, wait, oh, I like that one. That one is clever. RAG is a technique that improves AI generated responses by allowing the model to search for real world information before answering. Yeah, that's also accurate. Yeah, you can definitely make it access the web. That would be interesting to do as well as an exercise. Nice. So I like your responses. I like this one very much. And tell us in a story like way. Yes, because this specifically involves like the generation of the content at the end, because once you retrieve the information and you have kind of like your knowledge, you have to generate with an LLM like the answer or like the desired response. And that is just like if someone was trying you to tell a story, as this hacker mentioned. But yes, thank you very much for your own definitions. That's very helpful as well. So now we will see the process followed by RAG. I think this is the general concepts, general steps. So the step number 1 is that you, as a user or as a hacker, you ask your chatbot a question. For example, what is my favorite hackathon? Then the step 2 will be that RAG starts the action and scans the PDF that will be uploaded to match our question. And then the step number 3 would be that with the most relevant information retrieved, the RAG will hand the information to an LLM. So this LLM can be basically Gemini, it can be Llama, it can be GPT, it can be DeepSeek, it can be any LLM. And then the LLM will now use both the PDF that we uploaded plus their own text generation in order to tell me what my favorite hackathon is. And the answer is all of them, because I like all the hackathons. I don't have a favorite one. So yes, this is kind of like the step-by-step process of how RAG works in kind of like a more direct scenario, if you would like to see it that way. And then if we want to go more into the technical steps instead of just like general steps, so the step number 1 will be related to query understanding. because first we have to break down the user's question into tokens, analyzing the semantic meaning. So what does this mean? This basically means that the information is being parsed in small chunks of data in order for my RAG to understand it. So we're just breaking down the user's question into simpler terms. Then the step two will be retrieval from our knowledge base. So RAG will interact with a database. This database can be any vector database. It can also be MongoDB, which is kind of like the most common one. But I place example of Pinecone because Pinecone is a vector database. So after it retrieved the information from the knowledge base, the step three will be that Pinecone doesn't store text at all, but it stores meaning-based mathematical representations of information. And these mathematical representations are called vectors, which are basically numbers that range from -1 to 1. And they have a meaning related to a word. So perhaps 0.85 is cat and 0.751 is dog. I don't know. I'm just placing an example. I don't know if that's the actual value. But yes, basically our text is converted into a numerical representation, and that numerical representation is called vectors. And finally, RAG generates a similar vector for the user's query matching. So it basically makes a match between what I asked my chatbot, and then what it is on the knowledge base. So my RAG can actually generate a response that matches my query. And then finally, the answer is enhanced with an LLM retrieval. And for an LLM, we can use any model that we like. Surely, Jocelyn, you must love the Choco Pizza hackathons the most. I mean, now Carrie backs me up because she has also tried out chocolate with pizza. So now I don't feel so bad knowing that another coach knows what chocolate with pizza is. I mean, to be honest, I don't like that, but that was just the first thing that came into my mind. So I don't know why I said that. I don't know what was I thinking. And yes, tokenization. Yeah, that's basically the first step. Thank you for the concept. No, no choco pizzas. Oh, choco pizzas is it's a nice name. All right, so these are the technical steps. And now this is kind of like a nice diagram that breaks down like the technical steps more in depth. Um, so first it goes through the question, which is basically what the user asks. And then this is broken down into tokens, and tokens are small chunks of data. So after doing that, this goes on to an embedding model. And this what it does is that it turns word into a numerical representation, which is a dense vector. And then it goes through a similarity search, which is basically just finding numbers that are similar to each other. And in here, you can use different algorithms such as dot product, cosine similarity, or Euclidean distance. There are different algorithms that you can use to perform similarity search, but it's just basically finding numbers that are alike to each other. After that, it goes to a search into my database. In this case, they are using Elasticsearch, but we will be using Pinecone in here. And then it passes on the similar content that it found and fetches that similar content into a prompt, which then crafts an output using the LLM functionalities. So this is a very nice diagram that explains how RAG works. And this is just called semantic search, context retrieval. That's kind of like the long name, the complex name. But this is RAG in simple terms. I mean, I love this diagram. This diagram it's super self-explanatory. And now you can actually explain these to me because we have seen all of these concepts throughout our presentation. By this, I recall when I worked on data in which I used CFID vectorizer, which turns all alphabetical words into vectors. Oh, yes, there are different types of embedding models that you can use. Honestly, I need to research more about that. so I can find the one that I like the most. Because I just use like the generic ones, but I really want to have like my own opinion on which ones to use. That will be kind of like my homework for me to do for next technical streams. But yes, stay with this diagram. This is very helpful to understand RAG. So then talking about LangChain and where those LangChain comes in. So LangChain is basically a Python based framework, and what it does is that it basically simplifies the development of applications that are powered by LLMs. And this is just like breaking down the interactions that we can do with LLMs and making them into more like kind of like reusable blocks. And LangChain, it's called chain because chains in LangChains, they're basically pipelines that connect like different components that we can use between our different chatbot architectures. So it's kind of like just plugging in different tools that I can use for LLM development, and LangChain just summarize them all and gives it to me or to the user in a super easy to understand Python framework that I can use in my script. So yes, that's basically probably not very sure if we will integrate Python today. I will try us to use LangChain, but yes, I think most probably we will also be using sentence transformers from Hugging Face, if I'm not mistaken. So now we will start setting up our environment on Pinecone. So there are two ways to do this. We can both do it on the Python script, which I will also show you how to do it. But we can also do it on the Pinecone platform. So we will start by doing it on the Pinecone platform, as I really want us, to understand how the Pinecone interface works and how it looks like before we actually go into the coding part. So to do that, let's go ahead, and these are just the steps, but I will be making these with you, and I also changed the embedding size, so this will be different. Okay, so let's go ahead and go into Pinecone. Because it's the one in a skit, stuff like sec to back or even voice use auto TF-ID has been the standard. Oh yes, that's true. We are going to be using OpenAI embeddings. Most probably not. I think I changed that for the exercise. Yes, I think we will be using sentence transformers from Hugging Face. Yes. Don't remember the exact name, but it's kind of like all mean something, all mean LLM something. Okay, so let me pass you on the link for Pinecone. Let me just go to the login section so I can pass you in this one. This is a long. I don't like this. Let me just pass you on the normal link. So I'll give you a moment for you to create an account in Pinecone. I'll just log into mine. It will ask you some questions. Just type on generic answers. It doesn't matter if they're not the right ones. They won't affect your experience. So I will continue with GitHub. Mm-mm-mm. Let's see. Oh, well, I have some indexes, but you shouldn't have any. I would just stay on the get started page because I think that's where you will be directed. So I'll give you a moment for you to logging into Pinecone or create your own Pinecone Pinecone account in case you don't have one, and then I will proceed. We'll give you like 2 minutes to finish this. Do, do, do. Oop. Okay, someone's done. I will wait for at least 5 more hackers to tell me that they already have their Pinecone accounts. Actually, when I was preparing the stream, I really had like a hard time trying to find a simple way to do the rag exercise, because there are many ways to create your rag interface. I wanted us to use like PDFs as kind of like the format, but then I was having many issues with the vector sizes, and I kind of sorted out, but I still have some preparing to do before our part 2 of the stream. Okay, another person is done. Ready? We're just missing one more person to tell us that they're done, because I really want us to follow along. Perfect. Awesome. So let's continue. Okay. So in here, we will create, first of all, if it was your first time logging into Pinecone, a pop-up message should have appeared. I'm mentioning like, oh, this is your API key, like save it somewhere, somewhere safe. So you can copy paste that API key. It doesn't matter if you didn't do that, you can still generate a new one over here. So yes, important things to note: where the API keys are located. You can create a new API key and just kind of generate your name, and then you will just copy the value. And keep in mind that once you close the pop-up, you will not be able to access the API key. My recommendation: just create a new one in case you forgot or you didn't copy paste it correctly. Awesome. So we have a lot of people that are done. I'm very happy to see that. Um, Great. So yes, important parts: API keys. We all now know how to generate an API key. Second important part, and let me make my dashboard bigger. There it is. So on the database section, we will create a new index. So create index, and then we will type a name. This name can be anything, kind of like um, identifiable for us. In my case, I would place AI chatbot MLH. And then for the dimensions, this is just basically how long I want my vector to be. I will not be diving very deeply into why we are choosing these numbers, but just keep in mind that dimensions is just basically the length of the vector. And you can see also in here, as part of Pinecone, that larger dimensions require more storage. Because yes, that means you are storing a larger vector, so more numbers, more storage. So we will be keeping things short. I think the model that we will be using, let me just search for the number real quick. It is of dimension 384. So 384. And then for the metric, as I mentioned, there are different types of metrics that you can use to find the similarity in between your embeddings or your numbers. We have cosine similarity, Euclidean distance, or dot product. We will be using cosine because it's the one I like the most. If you want to learn more about these different types of well, not matching, more like well, yeah, matching or similarity matching embedding formulas or mathematical formulas, you feel free to watch the stream that I gave yesterday on recommendation systems. I explain a little bit more in depth what cosine similarity is, in case you are curious about that. And then in here we have the different embeddings models that we can use. I think someone mentioned that we will be using OpenAI's embedding model. For this index creation, yes, we will be using ADA that uses this value, but don't worry, we will overwrite this on our code. This is just an exercise so you can visualize how to create the indexes manually instead of just like in the code format. So just select the one that you like the most. You can also configure your own dimension and metric. I would choose this one, but you can choose whatever you want. This is just a practice exercise for you to create your own index and see how it works. We have some questions. One is Pinecone commonly used. So Pinecone, it's a vector database. So it's 100% used for AI applications because by using vector embeddings, it has to do with everything related to AI and LLMs. So, for example, in our use case, we are building an AI chatbot that has a RAG-powered knowledge base. Then we are using Pinecone to store those vectors. Because Pinecone doesn't store like documents or like text or strings. It stores numbers, which are vectors. So that's what Pinecone is. It's most commonly used. And if you have also used MongoDB, MongoDB also has another feature where you can create vector indexes. So that's just kind of like the vector database partition for MongoDB. Done. Awesome. Dimensions change when we select the model. Why? Okay, nice question. So that's just basically because there are different types of embedding models and they have different dimensions. And dimensions, what does this number mean? This number is how long your vector is. So how long will my vector be when I store it into my database? The larger the vector, the more space it will take. So for a simple RAG applications, you can use a small number. It will not be this. We will change it later. But yes, should we select the dimension equal to 386 or select OpenAI ADA model? Select the ADA model for now, and then we will create another index on Python, and you will see. How can I access your yesterday's stream of recommendation systems? Yes, you can go to the YouTube channel. Let me do that super quick and send it over to you. Or actually, let me send you. Well, no, because I haven't edited. Oh, you will see my YouTube. It's loading. You can visit it on the Major League Hacking channel. In here, if you are seeing, we are live right now. Let me search for the one I'm looking for and send it over on the stream. So it's this one. Let me close this and send it over to you. There it is. Also, I shared a GitHub repository with all of the slides and content. I will share it later when I also share today's stream in case you also want to visit there. You are currently on the starter plan. Yes, I know that. Okay, so, oh, my bad. Let me just select this one again. So once you select that, we will do it serverless, and we will leave the defaults because we want it to be free. So we will just leave AWS and the default region, and then just, oh, yes. So I cannot create it because I have already more created. So I'll just cancel this and create And just, I think this one is the same. So after you click on create, you should be seeing something similar to this. I mean, if you selected a different model, then it will be different. But don't worry, we will be creating our own index later. So please let me know when you all created um, your test index on the chat. Okay, someone is done, created, perfect, awesome. So okay, so we can actually go ahead and test this. So this was not part of the stream plan, but this will be nice to do. So on this button that you are seeing over here, let's click on connect and let's see the quick start. So let's start. Let's see, where can I do this? So I'll open a Google Colab and share it with you as well. Look, I'll open this one from yesterday. Just hold on a few moments for me to share this with you. I think it had an MLH link. Let me search for it. MLH.link, and then it was a slash embeddings. Yes, it's this one. There we go. In there, you will be able to access my Google Colab if you want to follow along. Again, this will not be part of our project. This is just so we can kind of like practice what we are doing. So let's first install Python. Install Python. Oh, I think my... There it is. Okay, my monitor is kind of lagging. I'm so sorry for that, but I'm back. So first step will be to install the Pinecone. So let's run this. Yes, execute. And then what's the next step? I'll copy paste this. Just give it a moment to install Pinecone. I think you should be seeing what I'm adding here. How could I access the GitHub repository of final file? The one that I'm presenting right now, or the one from yesterday's stream? No, I don't want it to create. Today, so the one for today, I will share it with you in a moment, and also the one from yesterday in like about 5 minutes when we finish this. So API key, let me paste my API key, but first I'll insert these vectors and then query it. So let's do this, paste it. I'll add test API. I'll copy paste this and just place it over here. There we go. So in here now I authenticated with Pinecone. I selected my index, which will be quick start. And then I just inserted some vectors that are, you know, different movie genres. And then what's next? Let's see. So what's next is to query, search for the NS1 namespace in your index. Should we be doing what you're doing right now as well? No, no worries. You don't have to be doing this. This will not be part of your project. This is only to test out Pinecone and see how it works. kind of more like a demonstrative exercise. So let's run this and see what happens. I actually never run this before. Oh, this is because it doesn't exist. Give me a moment so I can close my door because my dog is barking. Hold on. There it is. Okay, so probably because the index doesn't exist, is that's correct? Yes, not found. So let me search for a name index that I have. So rack PDF MLH. Let's use this one. Rack PDF MLH. Let's see. And now let's test it out again. Oh, now what? Index absurd Python API exception. Mm. Oh, the dimensions. Vector dimension 2 does not match the dimension index. Ah, that's true. I will have to edit the. I don't want to do that. I'm too lazy to do that. You know what? Let's just trust the process and do it in Python without testing it first on Pinecone. Yes, because we just have 1 hour left and we're still missing to build the Streamlit part. So no worries. That was just because the error that it's giving me, it's because my um, the embedding model that I use for the vectors is too large compared to these, and this just it's a 2-dimensional vector, and it has more data, so I don't get this error that says vector dimension 2 does not match the dimension of the index that I have, which is 1536, which is this one 1536. So I have to create another index with dimensions 2, but to do that, I will have to delete one and create another one, which I don't want to do right now. Okay, so let's just imagine that everything is working perfectly, and you have the Google Colab as well in case you want to look at the error yourselves. So for now, I will share with you the GitHub repository that we will be using during this set of technical streams. So let me share that with you. And I will also share the one from yesterday. Why are we limited to 2 dimensions again? Oh, it's not like we are limited. It's kind of more like the information that I'm trying to upload to my database is of 2 dimensions, and my database is requesting, like larger dimensions. So to fix that error, I either have to change the data that I am uploading or change the vector size for my index on Pinecone. Okay, so this is the one from yesterday. It is not finished yet. We're still missing the part 2, and I'm still missing to upload the YouTube live session, but the slides are in here. So this is the one from yesterday for the hacker that was asking, and the one for today, it is this one called Rack Chatbot. So let me share this one for today. Just cut up the stream for YouTube. Nice. Okay. Yes. So this is the one that we are using for today's workshop. So yes, feel free to clone it or fork it. But what I would recommend, if you are submitting this to the dev post for Global Hack Week's challenges, I would recommend for you to create your own code repository and only use mine as a reference. If you want to see like the code that I just uploaded, you can basically copy paste it from the files in here. Yes, the slides are already in here. I believe so, and I will be uploading the YouTube recordings as soon as we finish the stream. So I will actually ask you, what would you like us to do first? Because we have 1 hour. So we can either go ahead and start creating our Streamlit dashboard with a simple chatbot interface and deploy that in like 1 hour. We can do that in 1 hour, or we can do the advanced rack thing. That honestly, yes, I mean, I will leave it up to voting on the chat on what you want to do, depending on how many new time hackers we have or advanced hackers we have, and I will do whatever the chat recommends. In my personal opinion, I would rather go with the simple version first, just in case we have beginner hackers, and then we can do the rack on the part two in the first 30 minutes. But I want to ask the chat their preferences, and if there are no preference, then I will proceed with the simple version first. I mean, we will still do both things, just that one of them will have to be tomorrow. Will have to be in like 3 hours. Okay, we have one that says advanced rag if everyone agrees. I will prefer the simple version. Okay, let's see. We have more comments. Simple version. Okay, I'll give some more minutes for people to start dropping their opinions on what we should do first. I thought this was a strawberry, and it's not strawberry. It's fruit punch. I don't like the flavor. Simple version first. Yes. Okay. So let's start with the simple version, and don't worry. The taste of betrayal. That's so true, because I was expecting another flavor, and then when you drink it, it's like, oh, like this is not what I was expecting. I mean, it looks the same. Like it looks the same, like as the strawberry one. I must have mistaken myself when I bought it. But yes. For the more experienced hackers, we will still do the rack in the first 30 minutes of the stream that we have later on today. So no worries. We will still do all of the things. Okay, so let's get started with the Streamlit interface then. I will copy paste this. You don't have to do these steps. All you have to do is create a new project or a new folder. So you just will just like open a new folder on your VS Code, and there you go. In my case, I will clone my own repository, and I will store it on my desktop. There we go, and now it's cloning. Yes. Just give me a moment, and I will make the screen bigger. I'll catch the advance from YouTube because the next stream is 4 a.m. of, oh my god, yes, go to sleep now, please. Go to sleep, yes. Okay, so now that we have our setup ready, let me make this bigger. Where are my extensions? There we go. There we go. Now I have my nice VS Code pets. I cannot code if I don't have my VS Code pets in here with me. Okay, so for this time, everyone should have a new VS Code project open. You don't need to have these files. That is just because I cloned my own repository. Don't worry if you don't have them. We will be creating our own files during the stream. So to get started with Streamlit, I will first send the documentation page for Streamlit. Streamlit docs. Let's see. So you can all see how to get started and what Streamlit is. So quick introduction. Streamlit is basically, it's open source, so that's super cool. And it's a Python framework or a library that most developers use for data science projects and data visualization tools. And it builds awesome dashboards in just like minutes. And you can deploy it like super fast from your own GitHub repository. That's why I really encourage you to create your own GitHub repository with your own project. So when we deploy our application, you will not have any trouble deploying the app. So to install a Streamlit is just a simple pip install Streamlit. That's all you need to do for today's setup. And then there are some fundamentals that I will be covering directly on the VS Code. But yes, make sure to install it using pip install Streamlit. Let me send this on the chat so everyone remembers. Okay, so to see how easy it is to get started, I'll create a new file that will be called home.py. And then I'll just import Streamlit. Import Streamlit as st. And then just to write our title page is st.title. And then my title will be welcome my first AI chatbot. And then perhaps I will add a divider, st.divider. And then I will add like a text. Interact with the chatbot on the interact with different versions. Oh my god. Interact with different versions of the chatbot from the sidebar. Great. And then we can add an image that we will add later on. And then we can also add a footer. Oh, footer doesn't exist? Well, then as a subheader that says, thank you, build with love, and then my username. There we go. And then perhaps add a tiny heart. There it is. So this is very simple. I just added a title, my divider, just a normal text, an image, and a subheader. Why is my pip install Pinecone not working? Can you send the error message that you are getting on the chat so I can help you, or we can help you debug? And let me find an image. So AI parrot, because I want it to be like a Langshan themed. So I want like an AI image of a parrot. Ooh, this is fluffy. So I'll just copy the direct image, paste it over here. There we go. So I think we're ready to run this. So let's go ahead and run. So to run our application, what we have to do is first, of course, install Streamlit. That's what we all have to do. Pip install Streamlit. And then after that, once you install Streamlit, you have to do a Streamlit run, and then the name of your script. In my case, the name of my script is called home.py. There we go. Even I installed Pinecone in terminal. It says model not found error. No model name. I mean, that's a regular error when you don't have it installed. Probably selecting which Python interpreter you are. You can do that by clicking in here where it says like the Python version and select probably a different environment or a different interpreter. That's probably it. Or create a new terminal that uses a different Python interpreter in here. Select a different terminal. There we go. And now it's running my application. Oh, it still has the custom. Um, let me clear. Yes, clear cache. Because yesterday when we were building the Valentine's Streamlit, I added like a custom pink theme. So I'll just leave it on the regular one. Yeah, so it says, welcome to my first AI chatbot. Interact with different versions of the chatbot from the sidebar. We will create a sidebar in a moment. And then it says build. I'm missing a T in here with love and then my username. Okay, so let's fix build. And let me add an emoji in here instead of does someone know how to open the emojis on Windows? Because I don't remember. I'm still installing in Streamlit. Okay, awesome. No worries. I will be uploading this into the GitHub repository, so you can copy paste the code in there if you are a little bit behind. My pet cat. Yes, the pet cat. It's so cool. Okay, I think I'll leave the emoji pending because apparently I don't know how to use this keyboard because I'm using a new keyboard today. So I mean it's a cool one. It's a NuFi 75, and I like how the keycaps sound. They sound like they sound really cool. I love this keyboard. But yes, I don't know how to place like the emojis in Windows because I usually use my Mac. Yeah, thank you. The keyboard is very cute. Thanks. How do I change my environment? Because I think I have a problem with it. Okay, you can do or create a new Python environment. To do that, you will do Control Shift P if you are in Windows, or if you're in Mac, it will be Command Shift P, and this will pop up something like this, and then you type create environment. So create a new Python environment, and that will make you create a new environment. That opens up emojis for me also on Windows. Windows period. Oh, I didn't saw that. Let me try that. Yeah, weird thing. My keyboard doesn't have the Windows keycap, but I think it's this one. Oh, there it is. Yes. So let's add a B. And let's paste this B inside of the. There we go. And this will also be normal text, and this will be a subheader. There we go. Awesome. So now that we have our main page, let's create our sub pages that we will be using on the other stream as well, and on this stream as well for our AI chatbot. So to do that, we will create a new folder, and the folder will be called pages. It has to be strictly called pages in order for it to work. And then inside of it, I will create my first file that I will call chat.py. And I want to give you a recommendation in here. So the name of the file that you place in here, it will be the name of the title of your sidebar. So if you want to add, for example, emojis, you can also add emojis on the name of your file. So let's do that again. So chat, and let me place like a star and then an underscore and an underscore at the beginning as well. So chat.py. There we go. And then in here, I will import a Streamlit again. And then in here, I will add all of the logic for my AI chatbot. And super simple thing. Streamlit, as it uses Python as their main thing, and it's focused for data scientists and building AI applications. It has tons of templates for building chatbots and LLMs and everything that you can imagine. So we'll just grab a template from the community so we can save some time. So let's go ahead and search for that template. I believe it's in the documentation as well. Let's see, tutorials. To chat and LLM apps. Ooh, look, build an LLM app using LangChain. That's new, actually. Let me just verify this before we actually do it. Da-da-da. I mean, we can either use the basic one or the LangChain one. The basic one is kind of like I like the UI because it's pretty. But let me compare it with this one. Let's see if the UI is similar. I think the UI is different. Nah, I like this one more. Okay, so let me share with you the direct section of the documentation where you can copy paste the code. So I believe it's all the way to the bottom. If you go down, 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 here it is. There are different versions. We will use the last one because I think it's the more complete one. So let's just copy paste this. And I will give you an OpenAI key, so no worries for that. Let's copy paste that code over here. There we go. And let's go super quick on what this is. So this is a title. We will change this later because ChatGPT like clone, it's kind of like weird. And here I'm just connecting to the OpenAI client using my API key with secrets. We will create our secrets file in a second once I pass on my OpenAI key. Then I'm selecting the model that I want to use. In this case, this person is selecting this one, but I will also change this to perhaps GPT-4o mini. Then we are passing on the different messages, and Streamlit has something really cool that it has its own like message widget. So you can just call it using st.messages and that's it. And as for the prompt, over here, we are asking, for a chat input like what's up. And then the prompt is passed on down and added into our session state of messages. Beginner question, but why is it problematic to share API keys or make them public? Most API keys are related with money. For example, the OpenAI key that I will share with you today, it's kind of like my own OpenAI credits, which are bought using real money. So when you make them public, I mean, it's okay. You can make them public, but then everyone will have access to your key and your resources. So that will mean that they are using your money to use your OpenAI key. It's kind of like sharing your private product with everyone. And I mean, if you want to do it, fine. But I mean, it's basically like sharing sensitive information. So yes. Okay. And after that, you'll just returning the response over here. Yes, no worries. Okay, question to the chat. Were you able to copy paste example from the Streamlit page that I sent over on the chat? And I will change the title. Let me give some moments and let me upload this into GitHub. No, there's a lot of codes. It's the last one. Let me tell you which one it is. if you weren't able to find it, I just uploaded the latest changes into the GitHub repository. So let me tell you where to obtain it. So from the documentation part, the link that I shared, there's a lot of codes, right? So you will just scroll all the way to the bottom, all the way to the bottom into the very last one, this one, and then you will just click on here where it says view full code, and then just copy paste this. So it's the last example. If you weren't able to find it there, you can also obtain it from my repository in here. I already uploaded the latest changes, so you can just copy paste it from pages and then chat. And there it is. Hope that helped. I will give a moment for everyone to make this setup. What else do we have to do? So for now, we have to obtain our OpenAI key. Then we have to create our secrets file. Then we have to create our requirements file. And finally, we have to deploy it on Streamlit Cloud. And if we have time, we will get started with the RAG integration as well. Let's just give some moments for this. Let's actually refresh the page and see how it looks like. Oh. So there it goes, chat. It's taking a while now. No secrets. Oh yes, we have to add the secret file and then the OpenAI key. The Pinecone key we generated, is that the same as the OpenAI key? Nope, they are different. I will give you the OpenAI key in a minute. Actually, let's do that because we actually need it for the code to run. So you don't have to follow along with this. I will just pass you on an API key of my own because I have some credits that I can share with you all. So if you also want to see how to obtain your own OpenAI keys from OpenAI, you will just have to log in into the OpenAI platform. And then after that, you can see like all of the docs and your billing information in case you have used the API before. In here, I have plenty of APIs, so I will just create a new one. Global Hack Week AI ML. I will click on create, and then I'll copy paste this on the chat for you to use it. A note on this, I will be disabling the access to this API key after we finish the project, because I also want to I want to take care of my tokens. So yes, you can use it for now and it will work, but after the streams, I will disable the access. So how would you paste the OpenAI key? To do that, we have to create a new folder, and the folder will be called .streamlit. So again, you have to create a new folder called dot and then Streamlit. And then inside that, you have to add a file that will be called secrets.tom. So like this. And then in here, you would just, it's kind of like as an .env file. So I'm just going to type OpenAI key and then my key. And let me paste it over here. There we go. So like this. OpenAI key. There you go. And that's all we have to do. Now, automatically, my code will use Open API key. So let's just name it the same way as it is in here. Open AI API key. Just because we want to add the secrets file like this. Are TOML files for config? Yes, that's super true. Therefore, for configuration files for Streamlit, you can actually add your own config file in here and place like a custom background or like a custom font if you would like. That's also valid. I did that yesterday on yesterday's stream with a nice pink background. Okay, so let's now try to run the code and refresh our application and see if the errors have disappeared. Awesome. So now we can see that it is working. So let me upload this into the let me just add a config file so you can see. So you can see like what the folder name is. You don't have to create this file. I'm just doing it so you can see it on the GitHub. Oh, probably. Let's fix that. Git rebase. That's weird. Failed to push some refs. Is there? This is so weird. Why do I have two? Why do I have two different ones now? That's weird. Okay, well, does anyone manage to run this successfully? Let's test it out. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me run the application again. There it is. Let's try it out. Hello. Nice. Which model are you using? There it is. So now it's working for me. Does anyone has managed to run the simple example of the GPT? Do I need to install OpenAI? Yes. Yes, I actually forgot to mention that. You can do that by running just pip install OpenAI. There it is. Let's see if someone has managed to run the example, or if you had any questions. I mean, just mention them to me. Probably I went too fast, or probably you're still struggling with the secrets file or the code that there is to copy paste. Just pass on the question. Is it possible for you to share the link to the chatbot with us? I'm not asking you to share it, just want to know if Streamlit lets you do that. Yes. I mean, the next step right now is to deploy our application. So I will share you the domain link so you can try it out. Just that right now I'm trying, so you can all build your own Streamlit dashboard. So when you deploy it, you can actually put that on the dev post project. So what's the next step? Okay, someone managed. Great, very happy to hear. Can we look at the secret stomach again? Yes, it is this one exactly. Let me just, I'll send exactly what you have to copy paste on the Tomlin file. I just shared that on the that's what you need to have on the secrets.toml. And now let's create a requirements file for our application. And let's just pass on OpenAI because it's the only thing that we need. This is so weird because now my my Git is working. I think it's probably something with the upstream that I'm not seeing. Pushed decline due to rule violations. Is that related to the keys? Not sure. I think it won't let me push. Let's see what the error is. Sometimes I get really weird Git errors, and I just search them on Stack Overflow. Um, that's so weird. Okay, let's try pull then again. Yes, it's related to the keys. There's a rule you set that prevents you from pushing keys. That's so weird because I mean, my oh, that's so right. Oh my god, thank you. I forgot to add the Streamlit directory to the git ignore, and thank you GitHub for not letting me push my OpenAI keys. Yes, so sorry. So we have to create a git ignore file. I already have my own here. Feel free to copy paste the one that I have for there on the repository and just add in here in any line that you would like your Streamlit directory. So Streamlit slash. And now this will ignore this whole project directory. And now I think I have to delete it and create it anew again because I think I already pushed I already pushed those commits. Weird, I must be doing something else wrong. I get key error. ST secrets has no key. OpenAI API key. Did you forget to add it mounted to secret directory or the app? Oh yes. Do you have this file over here inside a .streamlit folder called .streamlit and then secrets.toml config.toml because you have to add it in this file. And as for my error, and I hope no one has pushed through GitHub, and thank you for letting me that know. Yes, you have to add your directory. Mine, to me, it says that Streamlit has no title attribute. Huh. has no title. Oh, that's probably because you don't have Streamlit installed. Yes, because I have the same. I mean, sd.title, and then you have to install Streamlit. Let me just fix my own error. Don't mind me. You can keep asking me questions while I fix my own error. Let me probably discard this. Probably do like a revert commit. Mm, 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 mm. Yep. And then again. There it is. And now hope this works now. You got a soft reset. What do you mean with that? But yes, I basically have to discard this and create them again. Probably unstash them. Does that work? Don't mind, you already yes, like unstash them. That's right. Still, it doesn't seem to be working. Probably if I oh, there it was. There it is. Now it's correct. Awesome. Yes. Thank you. It has worked. Yay, successfully. Okay, so what I was doing right now is that I was trying to push my configuration files into GitHub, and we are not supposed to do that because this file contains our API key. So GitHub was like preventing me from pushing my OpenAI key. That's why I was getting a warning. And what I did is add it into a git ignore file. So the git ignore file, you can obtain it over here on the repository that I shared with you. You can just go ahead and copy paste this file. Git ignore, you copy paste this file and create your own one on your repository. And actually, let me just include the secrets. For the config file, it doesn't matter. That's just like colors. So I'll just exclude the secrets one so you can all see the structure of the .streamlit configuration folder. Now let's upload this. And you should be able to see the changes that I did over there. Crisis averted. Yes, that's so true. We prevented that crisis from happening. All right. Okay. Then I think we are ready to deploy our application. Okay. So can I get another head count again of who has managed to run the simple example of our application locally? And by the way, I already updated the GitHub, so you can see the latest changes now in here. On the Rack chatbot, you can see like the different parts, and you can just copy paste this. Just keep in mind that on the .streamlit, you will be missing to add the secrets.toml file, which is the one that I just sent on the chat that has the OpenAI API key. So who has managed to make their GPT wrapper work, or their first AI chatbot work, running with the key that I shared on the chat, so I can know if I need to help hackers? Yes, working now. Also, if you have any questions or errors, there's actually an error. To me, it says the Streamlit has no title. I already installed it. Follow-up question: is your Streamlit if your Streamlit title kind of like has like a yellow underline below it, or it looks just like this, like without any yellow underlining? Mm, working now. Okay, we have one person that made it work. Yes, it has a yellow underlining. Okay, then that means I know you already installed it. I think you're the one who was having issues with the Python environment. I think, I'm not very sure. It's probably related to the Python environment. So try to hover. Let me show you an example. So for example, you're getting something like this, right? PyCon is not accessed. The import PyCon could not be resolved. So try on clicking Quick Fix and click on select a different interpreter. And hopefully that will make it work. Let's hope that is the issue. So quick fix and then select a different interpreter. Yes, because usually the yellow underline means that your Python environment is not recognizing that you already installed, and that's probably because you have a different Python interpreter or environment selected on your VS Code. It's a common problem, honestly. Okay. While this hacker resolves this issue with Streamlit, no, I was wrong. It doesn't have the underlining. Oh, okay. That's weird. Then can you try running this command on your terminal, Streamlit hello, and see if an application pops up? Run that command in your terminal to see what happens. Okay, now that we have completed the simple version of our GPT wrapper, we will deploy our application on Streamlit. So to deploy our application and make this live, we will go to a Streamlit Cloud. So a Streamlit Cloud, which is this one. And then sign in. So just create a new account on Streamlit Cloud. Oh, awesome. Then that means you have it installed successfully. Just click on enter. You don't have to upload your email. Can you give me the GitHub repository link, please? Yes, of course. Let me send it over again. There it is. Awesome. So to deploy your application, you have to enter this link and create your own how do I say, your own Streamlit Cloud Streamlit Cloud account. You should be seeing this in blank if you haven't used Streamlit before. In my case, I have like tons of applications because I love using Streamlit, and there is also some templates over here that you can use. Thanks. Oh, I love the bee emojis. It's so cute. No worries. This is actually one of my favorite applications. Some for hackathon projects. I've been to many hackathons. I've won over 12 different hackathons when I was doing that. I mean, I'm still second year of university, but I stopped going to hackathons. I'll probably go to some this year. I'm still not sure. There are so many things that I have to do. But yes, this was basically kind of like my hackathoning era. I went through a hackathon like every weekend. It was super fun, but also super tiring as well. I usually use Mac OS, but today I'm working in Windows. I have many problems to install Python. Oh, I understand you. I mean, I'm in Windows right now, and I have like many different Python versions installed, and I even installed like a library so you can install like any Python like Python version environment that you like. And I know it's an issue, and that's because macOS already has it like by default. I also use macOS as default on my work laptop. But yes, to continue with this, to deploy our application, let's click on Create App. We want to deploy a public app from GitHub. So deploy app, and in here, I will paste my GitHub repository. In your case, you should be pasting your own GitHub repository. So rack chatbot and main, and then I want to deploy it from the main file path, which is called home.py. And then my customized URL, I want to call it AI chatbot MLH. AI chatbot. And then global hack week. Awesome. So this should look something similar to you, but with your own GitHub repository. That's why I mentioned that it was very important for you to create your own GitHub repository by the time you deploy it. And don't worry if you were not able to do it, you can still do it afterwards. And then I'm selecting the main branch to deploy. And this is my main file because I don't want to deploy it from this file. I want to deploy it from the main. And this is my custom app URL, which is basically my domain name. And before I click on the deploy, I need to include my secrets file. So to include the secrets file, I had to click on advanced settings. And once in here, I will go to my code and copy paste the secrets file. So copy pasting all of this with my credentials and just copy pasting it over here, open an API key and then my key. And then I'll just click on save. There we go. And now we are ready to deploy. And that's all. It will take a while. I'm hoping we don't get any errors. Let's see what happens. It's very cute. I love Streamlit. Oh, actually, let me show you something. Just give me a moment for me to grab that thing. I'm back. Just wanted to show you this Streamlit stickers from MLH hackathons. They're very nice. They usually give them when Streamlit is kind of like partnered with the hackathon, but they're very cool. And it has your app is in the oven one, which is the one that we were just seeing. But yes, and if you can see now, my app has been deployed successfully. So let's see if the chat is working. Let's test this out. Oh, there it is. So everything's working seamlessly. And if you can see now, this is a domain. So if I share this app with you, you should all be able to test it out. So I know this is asking too much, but if someone was able to deploy their own GitHub repository, please share the link with us, and I will be more than happy to promote that link. Also, feel free to visit this application that we just created together and test it out. I mean, it's just a GPT wrapper, but we did it by ourselves using the Streamlit template. We have about 10 minutes left. And I just want to let you know that for the second part of the stream, which will be hosted on this time, so it's 11 p.m. GMT, or why is this not displaying my own time zone? Why is it GMT? I want it to be CST. Okay, but this is in like 3, 4, 5. This is in like 3 hours. So in about 3 hours, and I will also be posting the announcement on Discord, and we will be finishing this application. I mean, the nice thing is that now we have it deployed, and we actually know that the simple GPT wrapper works. What else? We will be adding another subsection in here that will be for using pinecone and sentence transformers with RAG and embedding models. So that will be more advanced. Still, it will be beginner friendly. I promise. All of my streams are always beginner friendly, and they also have technical concepts for you to dive into. After doing that, I'm estimating that would take us like 30 to 45 minutes because I will go super quickly as we all know the concepts of RAG and embeddings and vectors and all of that. And we already have our pinecone setup created. So that will be super fast, like 35 minutes. And after that, we will deploy it and check that it is working correctly. And finally, we will be using this new library that I like very much, that it's called Moondream. And with Moondream, it's basically a cool AI that will help us like detect different things from images and videos, or even like make a model. That's nice. This is actually a super cool Python library that I like very much, and I use a lot in robotics. Actually, my robotics team uses this library. I made them their own implementation of this library for my robotics team here in Mexico, and it's super simple to start using it. I mean, yes, the models are run locally, so probably they will take a while to download, but no worries, we will do that at the beginning of the stream so we all get time to test this out. And after we test it out, this super cool AI library and Python, we will be incorporating it into another tab on our Streamlit dashboard. So now we will have like a simple GPT wrapper, then we will have our RAG pinecone wrapper, and then we will have our Moondream testing environment with different models. So yes, a GitHub question. How do you set up your Git not to push things like API keys? Honestly, I'm not sure. I think that's individual for each code repository. Let's actually go check that super quickly. Probably I did that when I was doing other streams related to GitHub. Probably in deploy keys. No, I'm not very sure. I mean, I think it's by default because I don't remember adding like extra configuration for secrets. So it should be default. Um yes, it should be default. Because I don't remember doing that for myself. I think it's individual for each code repository. It's still, I'm not very sure if it's like a general rule that you have to activate it. I think GitHub just made the security update probably and just included that for not to work. Okay, so I think we are ready to wrap the stream up. I already shared with you the GitHub link where I basically uploaded all of the code. And now let me just add the domain of our chatbot application that I just created. Let's see. Where is the GitHub? I think it's kind of the Pendabot, you get it by default. Yeah, probably by default. Security analysis. Oh, thanks. Thanks. Okay, well, you have everything that you need on this code repository that I already checked. Also, don't forget to check in if you haven't. Let me share the link again with you. This is for you to obtain the points for the weekend in case you are trying to go for swag. As always, it is a pleasure to do these streams with you all, with all of the hackers. Try to deploy your application for the next stream that will be in about like 2 hours. Um, so yes, I will see you in about 2 hours then for the part two, and I already told you what we will be doing. So hopefully that will be very straightforward for you all because you already assisted kind of like the technical um, explanation concept. And either way, the slides are on the GitHub as well, so you can always access them over there. Thank you. Yes, I hope you all liked it, and I will see you all in 2 hours. Bye.